Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on one of the most misunderstood yet powerful forces inside any organization: power. Now, I'm not talking about the kind of power you see on a formal org chart. No, we're talking about the real, raw, unspoken influence that truly dictates who leads and who follows. This is the hidden map. It's the invisible architecture of control that's operating right now beneath the surface of every single team. And I promise you, once you see it, you will never be able to unsee it. Let's dive in.
The invisible forces that decide who runs a team are almost never located on the organizational chart. Just let that sink in for a second. That single idea is the key to understanding everything. It explains why some teams, filled with brilliant people, completely underperform, and it's why other teams with maybe less obvious talent seem to achieve the impossible. You see, this isn't just a clever saying, it's a fundamental law of human organizations. There is a hidden cost, a deep psychological tax that comes with formal authority. It's a phenomenon where the person with the manager's title is often overruled, not in a meeting but in practice, by the one person who is actually trusted and competent. What we're about to do is expose that unwritten map of influence that trumps the written rules of the hierarchy, every single time.
All right, so let's start by tearing down what I call the org chart lie. We've all seen it, right? You join a new company, and on day one, they hand you this map, a neat, tidy diagram that promises a clear chain of command. It's all boxes and lines, a clean flow of authority from the top down. But here's the truth. It's a work of fiction. A comfortable one for sure, because it suggests order and predictability. But it's a fiction nonetheless. The real rules of influence, well, they're unwritten. They operate in the shadows of that official structure. And today, we're going to shine a very bright light right into those shadows.
Now just look at this. The contrast here is so stark it's almost funny. On the left, you've got the official structure. It's clean, it's logical, it's top-down. It's the illusion of order. It's what the company wants you to believe. But on the right, that's the messy, chaotic, and frankly beautiful reality, the real influence map. And notice the crucial difference. The arrows don't point to boxes or to titles like senior manager. No, they point to people, to Sarah, to David. This map isn't about who reports to whom. It's about who people turn to when the project is on fire, who they trust when the pressure is on, and whose opinion they actually seek before making a critical decision. This is where the real work gets done.
And this clash, this constant battle between the official chart and the real map, it creates this powerful friction. I call it organizational drag. It's this invisible force that slows everything down. It wastes incredible amounts of energy, and it absolutely kills morale. And you felt this, I know you have. Just picture this scenario. Your boss, the one with the title, announces a big new plan in the team meeting. Everybody nods, right? But what happens after the meeting? Everyone quietly shuffles over to the desk of a senior engineer, someone with 0 direct reports, and they ask, "So, what do you really think we should do?" That moment, that hesitation, that secret double-checking, that is organizational drag. And it forces every single person on the team into a constant, exhausting choice. Do I offer compliance, a shallow yes to the boss just to keep the peace? Or do I offer commitment, a deep, genuine belief in the expert's plan, even if it means quietly going against the grain? This constant conflict is a huge emotional tax, and it's a direct cause of why so many teams fail to reach their potential.
So, how do we start to make sense of this hidden map? How do we decode this blueprint of control that's running in the background? Well, fortunately, we don't have to guess. The answer lies in a really powerful framework developed decades ago by 2 social psychologists, John French and Bertram Raven. It's called the 5 Bases of Power, and trust me, this is the operating system. It explains every single one of these hidden dynamics. It is the language of influence itself. Okay, let's break this down, because this table right here, this is the entire game. French and Raven found 5 sources of power, and they fall into 2 totally different categories. The first 3, legitimate, reward, and coercive, we call those positional power. They're handed to you with a title. Legitimate power is basically, I'm the boss, so you have to do what I say. Reward power is the ability to give out bonuses or promotions, and coercive power, that's the power to punish or take something away. Now look at the result column for all 3. What do you see? Compliance. That's it. It's obedience, but it's hollow. It's doing what you're told because you have to. Now, look at the bottom 2. Expert and referent power. These are personal. You cannot be given these, they have to be earned. And look at their result, commitment. This isn't just obedience, this is voluntary, enthusiastic buy-in. It's people wanting to follow you. And this is where the trap closes for so many leaders. When a formal leader only relies on their title, they can demand compliance all day long, but they totally forfeit commitment.
So let's zoom in on that first type of personal power, expert power. This is influence that comes purely from what you know and what you can do. It's when you have that unique, critical knowledge that the team absolutely needs to succeed. Now here's the real leverage point. In any system, the scarcity of a critical resource creates power. In our knowledge economy, that resource is specialized expertise. So if you are the only one who knows how to fix that critical bug, the only one who can navigate that complex regulation, or the only one who can close that impossible client, you hold all the cards. Your title becomes completely irrelevant. Your demonstrated competence is your authority.
And the second, and maybe the most potent form of personal power, is referent power. You can think of this as the power of your social capital. It's influence you have simply because people trust you, they like you, and they respect you as a person. It's about who you are, not what your business card says. When people genuinely respect your character, your judgment, your integrity, they want to follow you. They give you their discretionary effort, that extra energy that goes way beyond the job description. They bring you their best ideas, their fiercest loyalty, not because they're afraid of you, and not because they want a reward, but simply because they believe in you. This isn't forced, it's offered freely. And that is the source of true, unshakable influence.
Now, these two forms of personal power, expert and referent, they don't just exist side by side. They feed each other in this incredibly powerful self-reinforcing loop. This is literally the origin story of an informal leader. It starts at step 1. Someone on the team steps up and solves a critical, high-stakes problem that has everyone else stumped. Bam! Step 2. In that moment, they earn a massive dose of expert power. Everyone now sees them as the go-to person for that kind of issue. Then comes step 3. That success, especially if they handle it with a little humility, builds incredible trust and respect. That's referent power. People start thinking, not only is she brilliant, but she's reliable and she's got our backs. And then the cycle just repeats. The next time a crisis hits, who does the team naturally turn to? Her. Before you know it, that person has gained what we call de facto control over key decisions. That is the exact moment control shifts, when the team instinctively prioritizes the expert's plan over the manager's command.
Okay, so now we understand what this system is. We've mapped out the 5 bases of power, and we've seen how personal power can just quietly overtake positional authority. But the much more interesting question is why? Why does this informal map of personal power consistently win out over the formal org chart? The answer isn't in some management textbook. It's deep in our own psychology. It's rooted in fundamental survival instincts that this system hijacks with terrifying efficiency.
This whole system is so ridiculously effective because it taps into 2 of our most powerful, hardwired human needs. First, our deep, deep need for certainty. Our brains are fundamentally kind of lazy. They're designed to conserve energy. They hate ambiguity. They hate the cognitive load that comes with making complex decisions. So when we're faced with a tough problem, the brain will almost always choose the expert's clear, confident answer over the messy uncertainty of figuring it out ourselves. Following the expert is the path of least resistance. It just feels efficient and safe. Second, it taps into our attachment dynamics. We're social creatures. We are literally wired from birth to connect with and follow people we trust. This is the halo effect in action. When we trust and respect someone, that's referent power, we unconsciously just assume their ideas are probably good ideas too. Their directions don't feel like commands, they feel more like collaborative advice from a trusted ally.
And this right here, this is the crucial point. Personal power is fundamentally different from positional power because it feels completely different to the person on the receiving end. Think about it. Being told what to do by a boss who's just leaning on their title, it can trigger our natural, healthy resistance to being controlled. It can feel like a threat to our autonomy. But following the advice of a trusted expert, that doesn't feel like being controlled at all. That feels like making a smart choice. And working with someone you genuinely like and respect doesn't feel like coercion. It feels like a partnership. Expert and referent power don't have to break down our defenses. They just bypass them entirely. And that is why, in any contest between compliance and commitment, commitment is going to win every time. All right, so we've diagnosed the problem, we've dissected the framework, and we understand the deep psychology behind it. Now, we shift gears. We go from theory to practice, from diagnosis to action. How do you actually navigate this landscape? How do you, as a formal leader, master this game instead of becoming a victim of it? This isn't just philosophy anymore. This is a tactical, actionable playbook for aligning your formal authority with real, earned influence. This is it. This is the fundamental question that every single formal leader has to answer.
Your primary job is not managing tasks on a spreadsheet. Your real job is to consciously and deliberately manage the flow of influence on your team. Your ultimate goal is to make that official org chart an honest reflection of reality. So how do you make sure that the person with the title is also, without any doubt, the person with the most earned trust and the most demonstrated competence? How do you become the person that influence naturally flows to?
So let's get tactical. This is what I call the Strategic Power Conversion Protocol. It's a 3-step process to align your formal authority with real influence. Step 1. You have to recognize the signals. You have to learn to see the invisible. If your big announcements are met with polite but kind of lukewarm enthusiasm, if you find yourself constantly having to follow up to make sure things are actually getting done, if you notice that meeting after the meeting where the real decisions are made, you have a misalignment. That is your dashboard warning light, and it is flashing red. Step 2. Convert your power. As a leader, you have reward power, the ability to give bonuses, promotions, interesting projects. Don't just use it to reward basic compliance. That's a rookie move. Instead, you convert it into referent power. Use those resources for genuine support. Use your budget to get your team the training they want. Use your political capital to remove those annoying bureaucratic roadblocks for them, and publicly give them all the credit for their wins. That's how you build trust. That's how you show you're on their side. And finally, step 3, a more advanced move. Neutralize a rival's expert power. Now, if one person's monopoly on knowledge is undermining the team, you have to act. But you do this strategically, not by tearing them down, but by democratizing their expertise. You implement knowledge-sharing systems, pair programming, formal cross-training, because when everyone has the knowledge, it becomes a team asset, not just one person's source of unchecked power.
And let's be absolutely crystal clear about what the goal is here. This is not about power grabs. This is not about playing petty office politics. The ultimate goal is organizational health and peak performance. The strategic goal is to make the chart match reality. It's to ensure that the formally appointed leader becomes, through their own deliberate effort and strategy, the single most trusted and the most competent voice on the team. Because when your title and your earned influence are one and the same, that organizational drag we talked about, it just vanishes. The constant choice between compliance and commitment disappears, and the team can finally move forward with a unified purpose.
So as we wrap this up, I want to distill this entire complex system down to its most essential, unbreakable truth. After you forget all the names and the jargon, what is the one core insight you absolutely must remember about the real currency of control?
This is it. This is the fundamental law of organizational physics. I want you to think of influence as a resource, like water. And in any landscape, water always finds the path of least resistance. It always flows downhill to the lowest point. Well, in an organization, influence works the exact same way. It will always flow, bypassing titles and hierarchies and org charts, to the point of greatest demonstrated competence or greatest earned trust. You cannot command it to go somewhere else. You cannot build a dam to stop it. You can only work with it. You either become that low point for your team, the natural destination for influence, or you will eventually become irrelevant.
I want to leave you with this one final thought. Consider it a mental weapon to carry with you into every meeting, every project, every career decision you make from now on. Never, ever trade your expertise for a title. Never stop learning, never stop growing your skills, never stop being the person who can actually solve the hard problems. Because a title is temporary. It can be given to you, and it can just as easily be taken away. Your expertise and the trust you build with it, that is real, durable power.
So we're done here, but your work is just beginning. Now that you can see the hidden map, you can no longer pretend it isn't there. So I want you to look around your own team, your own company. Where does the real power actually flow? Who holds the expert power? Who has all the referent power? And the most important question of all is, what are you going to do about it?